Let's talk about Picard season 3. Alan, I have seen the first 5 episodes.
I have as
If
well.
you have not seen them, Ensign Rowe, played by Michelle Forbes. By the way, her sister was my neighbor in the early 90s when I lived off Melrose. I lived walking distance to Golden Apple Comics off Melrose. And Michelle Forbes' sister was my neighbor. And so I would talk to Michelle Forbes about Star Trek. She did not want to get typecast. And so she chose to leave. And she was amazing. She's the big part of episode 5. This is a movie. This is a movie, and we have seen this is a movie about an unseen threat taking over the galaxy. It's a bottle show, and I mean that in a good way. It was made incredibly cheaply, but looks amazing. Some of the starships. I love the Titan. Commander Shaw, played by Todd Stashwick, is fantastic. I love everything about this show. They respect the characters, the respect for the characters. Worf in this show is fantastic. It's everything I loved about the old Star Trek. This may as well be a Star Trek miniseries movie. My understanding, I have not seen the final 5 episodes. There's a rumor that the last 2 episodes of Picard season 3 might be in theaters via a Fathom Events type of thing. I would love to see that. That's a rumor. If it's not a real rumor, I'm starting the rumor right now, because this is movie quality writing. And it also goes to show the thing we were talking about before. The thing that we were talking about before was is it exciting when people are just talking? Just the scene where Picard confronts Michelle Forbes' character, just laced with drama and history, and you don't even need to know it. Because what the scripts for the show does, it quickly catches you. It doesn't assume, if you do know certain things, great, you get more out of it, but you don't have to know. I am loving Picard season 3. I can't wait for the final 5. We will do a roundup of the final season. But if you're not watching the show now, this is everything Star Trek should be today is in this show. It's about ideas. It's drama. Stakes are high. Things matter. People even treat others with respect in a military fashion. There's none of this, like, I feel like it feels like the writers of the modern Star Trek doesn't feel like they have a lot of life experience. I am loving Picard season. I feel like and Riker, Jonathan Frakes he's fantastic. There's sort of like shorthand that Picard and Riker have. There's sort of, and when they have disagreements. It's just there's not a wasted line in the show. It understands and respects Star Trek, and hats off to Terry Matalas for doing this. Could Terry Matalas be the shepherd of Star Trek now? Make him the new the person to shepherd this series, because what he has done is unbelievable, and I love it. Alan, what are your thoughts on Picard season 3?
Yeah, how did this show ever get made? I mean, I've not seen the first 2 seasons. I've been told I shouldn't, but this is television the way television should have been done a long time. It's a lost art form, and this harkens back to it. And I've mentioned a few times, but what's been missing out of television for decades, last decade or so, is the idea of a cliffhanger. I mean, every single episode in Picard ends on a cliffhanger that leaves you frustrated that you have to wait a week now to see the next episode. It forces you to want to know what happens next and forces you to have to wait. I think it's I should say I've not seen the 5th episode, but the 3rd episode when they're in the whatever that nebula or whatever that is, and basically Picard is the one who basically doomed the entire crew. I'm like, oh my god, this is such great television, and I have to wait now a week to figure out how the hell they get out of this situation. And then the other thing I miss about Star Trek that has been missing again for a very long time is just this idea of exploring humanity, putting people to the ultimate, pushing them up against the wall and see where they're at. And that happened to me in the 4th episode where basically Riker says, "Look, we're just going to sit here and hope to survive as all the life support is about to drain away." And Picard comes back and says, "No, we've got to fight. It's if fighting means our only chance, we've got to do it." And I'm like, where is this kind of writing been? This is what got me into Star Trek and the Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, and this is the thing that has brought me back. Now, I will say that I'm a little, I kind of want to go back to Next Generation, but this is one long movie, and I'm slowly warming my way up to it, and so yes, please, Terry Matalas, please take over. Please take over. And then Captain Shaw, get him a series. Get him his own series.
There needs to be a spin-off series or at least something. He is so likable as that character. He's he's such a curmudgeon.
By the book. By the book.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like he's played kind of as the villain, but he's not. I mean, this is a very interesting character because you can't root against him. You can't say that he's this bad captain because he's probably a great captain. But the interaction that he has with Picard and Riker is just riveting. And oh my God, just please, Terry Matalas, take over. Take over.
Well, I'll just say this is the best Star Trek. This is the best Star Trek in decades.
Since First Contact, probably.
So, yeah, probably since First Contact. It's been a long time. But I'll say this is how, if they had relaunched with this, Star Trek would be huge now. And a lot of people have lost faith.